everyone. Let's start out on our backs today. Today's going to be a more restful practice as we approach the weekend. Just laying down, letting the knees be bent. You can even step the feet out wide and let the knees kind of cave in towards each other, just so you don't have to hold the legs up. Work very hard at it. Draw those shoulder blades down under the back, and the arms just freely resting on the floor. Closing your eyes, deepening the breath. Letting the body get really comfortable and relaxed. Letting the body notice your breath. Releasing any tension you feel. Exhales, just melting away that tension. If you're still really thinking about the breath and breathing deep, or if you're just letting the body breathe as it does all by itself. A moment as we begin our practice today to notice how your body feels. When you feel ready, go ahead and let your feet come back to being hip width apart. We're just going to start out with those hip hikers today. You can place your hands on your belly just to have that kinesthetic awareness of your body as you're moving through these movements with our hips. So letting the hips just move left and right across the floor. Letting that movement lead into those hip rockers, where you lift one hip up off the floor in the direction of the other. And sensing all that space around the hips. few more here. And coming back through center, go ahead and take the feet wide, about mat width apart. And let that right knee drop inward and down towards the mat. Just holding here for a breath. And then as you inhale again, lift that right knee up. And then as you exhale, let's let the left one drop in and down. Inhale back up, changing sides. And as you inhale again, we'll come back up to center, feet coming back to being hip width apart. And now let the arms reach out away from the body and let both knees drop over to one side. Just holding here a few breaths. And then inhale, let the leg that's on top just open up first. Make its way to the other side, and it's gonna pull that bottom leg over as you exhale. And then hold on this side as well. And as you inhale again, lift back up that knee, change sides, one more time each side. Just holding a few breaths. You're welcome to extend the leg that's on top. You're needing more of a stretch. As you inhale, come back through center. Exhale over to the side, extending that leg if you'd like. And then bring the knees back up as you inhale, right back to center. And let's just hug the knees into the chest. Nice release through the back. Rock side to side or circle. Noticing what brings the most ease into your body, the most release. And then as you inhale, let's lift those heels right up towards the ceiling. Take the arms overhead. Exhale, pull back in. Give the knees a hug. Inhale, lengthen back out. Exhale, hug in. Let that upper body release as you hug in. Inhale, open. Exhale, release. Inhale, open. Exhale, release. And now activating the core just a smidge here. If you keep your knees lifted, so you have that 90-90, and the knees are right over the hips, you're activating the core to hold those legs there. And you can place your hands right on the knees. We're simply going to reach away the knees just a little bit, pull through your core, and then pull back in. Push away. Pull back in. You really want to feel this through your core. So inhale, push away. Exhale, pull back in. The movement is really small. Isolating those lower abs. Few more. And now keeping the knees right over the hips, just those little toe taps. And just breathing normally. Letting the abs get some work here. Okay, keep the knees right over the hips. And then you can pick up your pace just a smidge, keeping those core muscles engaged. The back flat on the floor. Okay, just a few more breaths here. And then come back to that tabletop position, I'll call it, that 90-90. And now let's straighten the legs out, and we'll add a little more depth to your core work here, okay? So legs are straight, and now we're going to engage the core and lift up off of your mat. Lift those shoulder blades up off the mat. We're gonna hug one leg in as you're lifting high. Try not to pull. Make sure you're using those ab muscles to do the squeeze. And release. Change sides. Change. Change. Keep those abs engaged. Keep alternating. Go ahead and smile. We're working your core, building some heat. All right, one more each side. Hug those knees in, release down to the mat. All right, rocking side to side. Coming back through center, release the feet down to the mat. Let's do just a little bit with bridge here. Very slowly, as you inhale, just barely, you're gonna roll that tailbone right up off the floor. Lifting just to the depth that you feel those glutes engage. And then exhale, gently lower back down. And really noticing all the movement, vertebrae by vertebrae, dropping the hips back down to the floor. Inhale, lifting slowly, just being really aware of that space. And slowly taking it back down as you exhale. You will gradually rise up higher and higher. The slower you go and the number of times that you're doing it. The body loosens up very quickly as we go slow. Okay. Draw the heels a little closer to your bottom if you notice that space has gotten further away. Draw the shoulder blades down the back as you've now created space along your backside. And then you're lifting those hips again to fill that space. Still nice and slow, utilizing the whole breath. Both the inhale and the exhale. Just one more lift, and as you come up this time, go ahead and hold here for a few breaths. Let the breath be nice and deep and full. And as you exhale again, just release your hips down nice and slow, feeling all that sensation through the spine and the hips. And then just notice your back resting on the floor. And go ahead and hug the knees into the chest. And then one last exercise here on the mat before we come up. Let's come into that banana asana. Okay. So legs are straight out. Shoulders are underneath or down underneath your back, okay? We want to create that C shape in one direction with both of our feet and both of our arms. So I'm going to go ahead and walk both of my feet over to the right until I feel a stretch on this left side of my body. The arms overhead, and then I'm just going to scoot my upper body over just a smidge. I want to make sure that I'm not rolling up off the mat. Everything is staying down on the mat. I'm just making that C shape or banana shape. And if that's not enough stretch in your side body, you can cross your feet. You can deepen that C curve a little bit, just releasing into opening up through the sides. And notice where you feel that. I feel it all along the outer leg, the hip, all the way up through the side, the ribs. And just breathing. Letting the breath soften all that space and those muscles. Just a few more breaths. Let yourself release. one more full breath. So very gently unravel yourself back to center. Okay. And just notice, take a few breaths here. Noticing how that left side of your body feels. And then let's go ahead and balance our body out. So now we'll begin to walk the feet over to the other side. Okay? And letting that torso get a little slide to the left. Crossing the feet if you want. Just opening up the side body. Close your eyes and just breathe into all that space. And if you notice tension on the other side of your body, so the one we just stretched, see if you can relax that space. Not holding the body rigid in these poses, we're just opening up to them to receive their gift. And sometimes we just have to let go. Just let go. Let the body release. To feel those positive effects. Just a couple more breaths on this side. And as you exhale again, let's release the feet. Very gently come back to center. Okay, and bring your arms down like you would as if you were in Shavasana, and just take a few moments to notice your body here now. Feeling the breath move all through that space that we've opened. Both sides, the front of the body, the back of the body. And notice where there might be tension in the moment. Still hanging or lingering around in the body. And can you find a release that would alleviate or make your body feel a little more balanced in this moment? For me, it's my lower back. So I'm going to hug the knees into my chest. Maybe your release is staying just as you are and soaking up all that sensation of ease on the sides of the body. Maybe the whole body has relaxed. Just breathe into that space. Allowing your body to receive the effects of your practice. Okay, just one more full breath. Okay. And now, let's go ahead and just roll right on over onto our bellies. We're going to stretch out the front of the body a little bit here as well. Okay, so laying down right on the belly, arms out in that T position. Okay, we're going to stretch through the shoulders. But first, let's go ahead and we'll lay to the right. So let the right arm extend right out at your shoulder height, and the left arm comes right up by the chest. And all we're going to do is push into that left arm, so we slowly begin to roll to the right side until we feel that stretch sensation through that right shoulder. So you want to and through the right chest muscles, okay? So you want to be very mindful of how far you're leaning into that shoulder, and just take your time. The head can rest down on the mat. Some of us are really tight, so you might not move very far, and you might have a lot of weight left in this left arm. So you're really controlling the amount of that stretch, the momentum of the stretch, and just holding and breathing in that nice comfy space. And as the muscles loosen a little bit, take yourself in deeper. And if they don't, stay where you are. We meet the body where it is. And honor that space. How can you relax a little bit more? Maybe it's dropping that head to the mat. So just another full breath here. And as you exhale, we're going to roll back very gently through the center. And then we're going to take this stretch to the other side. So on your own pace, you can find your way in. Just making sure that that arm stays at T height, shoulder height. And easing your way in. another breath or two here. And as you exhale, gently find your way right back through center. Bringing your elbows right underneath the shoulders into Sphinx pose. Just lengthening through the core here. So draw the shoulder blades down the back, and that asks you then to push into your elbows and your hands a little bit. Engage the core. Even though we are lengthening the core, you'll feel that stretch. You can still feel as you lift up into that pose, you can feel the length through those core muscles, especially if they are tight and have been used a bit, as we did a little bit of core work at the beginning. Okay, and you can also attempt to lift up a little higher if your lower back is ready for it, by just pressing into those hands and trying to lengthen out, straighten the arms, and then drop back down. Easing into that nice stretch. You can try one more time. Really engage the core if you're going to lift up higher into that bend to release and back down. Now if you come down into the cobra position, so hands back beside the chest, we can just barely lift up and get some stretch through your neck here. And it might be just taking the chin side to side and lifting the chin a few times. Just noticing what those neck muscles are doing, how they're feeling, creating a little length. And then bringing your forehead to rest right on your hands on the mat. And breathing into the back of the body. Notice the air that moves up into the neck. And all those muscles that we were just sensing. Feeling the tension dissolve from all this space. Just one more full breath here. And as you inhale again, bring your hands right back by the chest. We'll lift up through your cobra, right to the knees, coming up to all fours. Okay. All fours for cat and cow. I'm just going to turn to face the other way. Inhaling as you open up into your cow. So you're lifting that tailbone. Drawing the shoulder blades down the back. The chin lifts. And exhaling, rounding the body out. Tailbone drops down. Shoulder blades flare out. Chin draws to chest. add your child's pose as you feel that opening through the lower back. Go ahead and settle into your child's pose. Reaching those arms far out away, creating length through the spine and pressing down through the hands. Just open the back of the body, couple breaths here. Head and neck releasing to the mat if they can reach. Just so there's no tension through the upper body. Inhaling, come back up to all fours. Exhale, reach that right arm and left leg out and away. Inhale, bring it back down. Same side. Continue, right arm, left leg, reaching up. Bring it back down. Reaching out. And now this time, go ahead and bend the leg and let that right arm come reach around as far as you can. And then extend back out. Reach around. You can turn your upper body. 2 more times. Reach around, bend the leg. Come back. Reach around. Come back and release. Going right to the other side. Left arm, right leg. And back down. Try to keep those hips nice and square. One more, reaching out. And down, and now this time we'll add that little twist. So you're reaching out, extending the leg and the arm, and then bend the knee and reach back behind. Straighten back out. Bend the knee, reach back around. Straighten out. Bend and reach. And release. Last one. Bend and reach. And release. Now, let's come into, if you will, just take your left arm. We're going to reach it right under the right till that shoulder makes its way down to the mat. Letting the head drop down. Stretching through the upper back and the shoulder blades. Just Just one more full breath on this side. And then gently push up with that right arm and pull the left one under. And then let's do the same. Take that right arm under till we get that shoulder to the mat. And there's a little tug against that arm so we can open up through that shoulder blade. Just one more full breath. And as you exhale again, lift up through that left arm, pull the right arm under. And then let's extend those legs back to down dog. Really settling in. We're going to hold down dog here for several breaths. So you're welcome to take this pose and get very comfortable. You can pedal your heels. You can bend both knees, lengthen the legs. You can drop down to all fours, child's pose, whatever you're feeling that you need today. Letting the head drop between the arms. Belly draws in, shoulder blades draw down the back. And that rib cage, we draw it in towards the spine. Lengthen out the back of your body. Push down through your feet, activating the legs. The quadriceps will engage, your glutes will engage, your calves, your hamstrings. Just a few more breaths. As you inhale again, go ahead and bend your knees all the way to the mat. And as you exhale, sink back into your child's pose one more time. You can even bring your arms down beside the legs now this time. Forehead resting on the mat. Just breathing. Just letting the breath fill the body today. On your next inhale, we'll go ahead and lift up out of your child's pose. We're just gonna come right back onto being flat on our back for Shavasana. We're gonna have a little bit longer a Shavasana today. So laying down on your backs. Deepening the breath, closing the eyes, and letting the body just settle. All the muscles releasing. Noticing how the body feels after this type of practice today. Notice your lips and your mouth, and all the sensation present there. Notice your nose and your cheeks. Sensation of the breath at the nostrils. At your eyes and the eyebrows. Letting all that space around your face, your nose, your mouth, your eyes, your ears, and the forehead just melt. Notice the top of your head. All the sensation present, the very top of your scalp. Back of your head. The back of your neck. Even the front of your neck, your throat. Let your awareness move to your shoulders, in the front of your chest. Noticing all the sensation present. And then extending the sensation into the arms. All the way down to the fingers, fingertips, palms. Sensation on the front and back side of the arms, the hands. And that sensation extending now to your upper back. Shoulder blades, the middle back, and the low back, sensation through the belly. And holding all that sensation in your awareness, take a full breath. And as you exhale, release all that space even more. And sensation continuing to move down the body through the hips, the glutes, the backs of the thighs, and the calves, across the bottoms of the feet, the heels, the soles, the toes, sensation expanding to the front of the legs, and the tops of the feet and toes. And keeping that awareness of all that sensation and taking a deep breath and releasing all that space with full awareness of sensation. And now, can you be aware of sensation across your entire body, from the very tips of your toes all the way up to the very top of your head? Can you feel almost as if there's a small energy or vibration to that, to your body? Can you feel your heart beating? And now taking a full deep breath and releasing the body even more. Keeping that fullness of sensation aware. And now let your awareness draw to the belly and feeling the movement of the breath, the rising and falling of the belly. Sensation fading from the body, except for the movement of the belly. deepening the breath once again. Opening the mouth as you exhale and letting all that breath leave the body. Beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circling the wrists and the ankles. And very gently drawing the knees into your chest. And when you feel ready, rolling to one side and taking a full deep breath there. And then coming back up to a seated position. Closing the eyes once again. And returning to that place in your body where you feel your breath the strongest. And taking a moment to notice how your body feels. Bringing your hands to your heart. Our bodies always give back when we take the time to notice. Namaste.